Welcome to tonight's episode of Kath and Drew, Church Without Borders, featuring your hosts, Kathy Renwick and Andrew Garrett. Finally, a Mormon. Tonight's topics: how do we keep kids safe with all this mature content available on TV? Tonight's episode is brought to you by God, Jesus Christ, the Church of Latter-day Saints, and the Catholic Church. How you guys doing?
And we're glad to be back.
Absolutely, Kathy.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Did you ever think we would get to this point?
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
It is.
It's nothing short of a miracle.
It is a miracle.
And I'll tell you why.
God has us.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've always had my hands tight, eyes pointed up, and I'm flipping coins into God's pocket. And that is how success is born.
Every time my wife and I go to church, we always donate a couple of bucks.
Drew, I mean, this week is a really good topic. It's a really good topic.
Yep.
Something that's near and dear to my heart.
As well as mine.
You know how I feel about this. I truly believe that it's up to us as good, religious soldiers to be protecting our youth and society.
Well, they're God's
that's
little
a no-brainer.
soldiers. For sure. They're little soldiers of
the
God.
The stuff that's on TV, the stuff that's on the radio is absolute garbage.
I can't stand any of it.
It's terrible.
Any of it.
It's squirrel fodder.
Absolutely. Any of it.
It's like... I was going to say it's like the Book of Mormon, but I don't...
Well, Kathy, don't. Don't head down that path. I don't know why you do that.
We'll get to it after.
Well, maybe we will. I'm not...
have you heard these songs on the radio?
Well, my wife and I don't like the radio.
Are disgusting. They absolutely disgust me. Before we get into who's on TV, I need to discuss what's on the radio. This is what these kids are listening to.
I know.
Have you heard this WAP or WHIP song?
I read about it, but I would never listen to it.
Wet, and then two bad words right after that.
Sour words.
I've never even been that way. I've never even known anybody that's been that way.
My wife either. And, it's the exact same.
That's not the only genre that this is going on in. People are trying to point the fingers and say, that's that music's fault. They're the ones doing it. But
that's not fair.
Let me tell you something. I heard a couple of country songs on the radio this weekend on my way to church.
Yeah.
That would make your head spin right off your shoulders.
Really?
And I'm going to play them for you. Because I think it's important that we get this teed in, that this is what these kids are listening to. Okay, so I'm going to play this song for you.
Okay.
I'm going to play a couple of these country songs for you.
All
right. You tell me, Drew.
Let's take a listen.
This is appropriate. Take a listen here. Take a listen.
Let's listen.
Treat these girls like kitchen sinks. Stick your fingers in their mouths like spaghetti. And tell them, girl, you ain't nothing but a stinky thing. Now I'm gonna get what I want.
It's very inappropriate.
Treat a girl like a kitchen sink. Stick your finger in her mouth like a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah.
What are they teaching these kids, Drew?
It's garbage.
That's not the only one. That's not the only one. Listen to this one. Take a listen to this one. Here, I'm going to play this one for you.
Yeah. Wind blowing. I'm looking for a girl who can piss in her pants. Stick them underwears in my goddamn mouth.
Oh, Kathy, turn it off. Turn it off. Kathy. No.
You know,
Oh,
what?
that's
What is going
absolutely
on, Drew?
disgusting.
What is going on? You know,
Oh.
it's not the only industry.
Oh
Like,
my
how do we
goodness.
protect these kids?
Unbelievable.
What is your take on this? This is
It's-
just
it's
obviously what
terrible.
they're doing is
It's terrible.
preparing these kids to access the porno channels on their parents' cable box or
Oh.
satellite dish.
Unbelievable.
You know, that's what these songs are trying to get them to do. The lyrics may as well be,
Oh.
"Hey kid, try as many passwords as you can until you get the porno channels unlocked."
Oh.
You know, it's like,
This
what
is
do you
hard.
think, Drew?
It's hard to
You've
hear
been
for me,
awfully
Kathy.
quiet.
It's hard to hear.
What's your take on this?
Oh, Kathy, well, I almost have a tear in my eye because I just know how terrible this is. It's so bad for these kids to listen to that type of stuff. And I mean, it's teaching them that God isn't number one and that they should be thinking of such unworldly things, such awful things. Like they're teaching kids, oh, you should be thinking about somebody's bathing suit area. Like, yeah, right, Kathy, that's so sick to teach a kid or an adult. You should never want to think about somebody's bathing suit area. Ever. You should always dedicate everything to God and make sure that you're pushing every thought into God's lap. You know, it's just, it makes me so uncomfortable and so sick to hear that that's out there, that that's what these
Oh, I
kids
ran
are
out of
listening
coffee.
to.
That's probably why I have
Oh.
this face. But
Wow.
Drew, listen.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Mhm.
Good kids.
I feel like I'm
great
right.
kids never look
Mhm.
to find a porno movie.
No,
You know,
I would not.
nudity is never done artfully.
No.
It's not tasteful.
Not at all. It's
I've
not appealing.
never seen a movie
Sick.
with a bad part. Okay? And you know
Mm.
what a bad part is? I'm writing this down, by the way. A bad part
Mhm.
is anything that would show, anything that your mirror would see
Mhm.
before you get into the bathtub. Okay?
Okay.
I don't watch movies like that. I'm
No,
not into that.
Me neither.
And there's channels.
Garbage stuff.
Just so you parents know while you're listening.
Mhm.
You know, you're driving to work right now. You probably got your eyes floating around, not pointed to the sky,
Nope.
as they should be.
Exactly. Pay attention,
But-
parents. Pay attention.
You need to realize
Mhm.
that there's these things out there, these ungodly things. And it kind of hurts me to talk about them because they're
Yeah.
actually ungodly. They're kind of like the devil's work, kind of
Yeah.
like satanic kind of work.
I get it. I'm uncomfortable every time I hear
They're
something
called-
like
Porno channels.
that. Oh.
Okay? This is kind of near and dear to my heart,
Mm.
okay? So you need to pay attention and listen up because I know someone in my family that was addicted to
You-
trying to get access
You
to the
told
porno
me.
channels.
I know. I
They were
know.
constantly trying
So
to get
sorry to hear.
into the porno channels
Mhm.
from the satellite dish. Okay?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kathy.
Now, this family member
Mm-hmm.
luckily had someone who was more responsible than he was
Good.
and made sure he'd locked it up with what's called a porn password.
Perfect.
Okay? So if you've got these channels,
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you right now, if you're at home listening to Spotify and you're flipping your flapjacks or you're cooking your white rice or whatever it is you're doing, stop.
Stop.
Grab the remote, settings, porn password. It's going to be most likely a porno pin.
Mm-hmm.
And it works like this. You're going to write it down on a piece of paper.
Yep.
You're going to put that paper where no one can find it. Okay?
Yep.
And then you're going to label it porno pin.
Porn pin.
Okay?
Okay.
Then we're going to pick a 4-digit pin. This is going to lock all of these porn channels and make
Okay.
sure that these kids aren't able to access this type
Yes. This is good stuff.
Stop myself. I was going to say trash. this type of
Don't
garbage.
say trash. Don't
Okay?
say trash.
We're
Rubbish,
going to make
folks.
sure
Rubbish.
that they can't access this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is important. Majorly important. Okay? Okay. Now,
All right.
back to my family member that was addicted to trying to crack the porn pin.
Mm-hmm.
He found it.
No. He did?
Yep.
Oh, how did he find it? How did he find it?
I'll tell you why, Drew.
Oh.
I'll tell you how we found it.
How?
Because my brother Donnie made the password 9998.
Oh, geez, that's not a strong
And,
password.
that's not a strong porn pin.
No.
So, what would a
Jeez.
strong porn pin be? A strong porn pin is random.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your birthday. It's not your kid's birthday.
No.
It's not your bank pin. It's none of that, okay? It's not your favorite coin.
Nope.
It's random.
Okay.
You pick 4 random numbers.
Mm.
Something you would never even think of. Something that if anyone found it, they'd say, wow, I can't believe Cheryl even came up with that. Those would have been numbers that she would have never came up with.
Yeah, that's...
Those are the kind of numbers you want.
Makes
Those
sense.
are the kind.
Yeah.
Personally, I like to pick random ones.
Well, it's probably the best way.
So, that'll lock it up.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make sure these kids ain't into it and accessing that type of stuff. Not true. I
Yeah,
want to get your take on this.
go ahead.
Because I know you
Go
got young kids at home.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What do you do with the porn channels?
Well, I'm actually very happy that
Do you
asked.
have a porn pin, a porn lock, or a porn password?
Well, actually, at our house, we do things a little bit differently. Because my wife and I don't really approve of many shows on TV. I mean, there's certainly so many sexual innuendos and things out there that kids don't need to see. We'll watch the shows that are out first. The scenes that we approve, we then take our video camera and my wife and I will actually act out those scenes. And, they're just hilarious. There's a few Modern Family scenes that we do where I play Phil, the dad, and, he's really goofy. I can be really goofy. So we will do those scenes. My wife plays the other characters, and then we will watch them on the TV in the family living room after we've done a few prayers, because watching any type of entertainment like that, you want to make sure God
Yeah, you do
approves of it.
that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we do.
Well,
Mhm.
that's what's important, Drew.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure,
sure.
Miranda, locking that stuff up nice and tight. Making sure it can't just fall out of our pockets like that. Making sure it can't get out. Nope. Got it locked up. Like you got it locked up. Like with a bike lock around a fence. Nice one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's episode. We're super excited to be back next week. Make sure you stay tuned. And everybody have a great religious weekend.
We really appreciate you guys
I'm
listening.
gonna head home
Every
and
single
make
week.
myself a nice religious supper. And maybe give my golden retriever a splash of red
I'm
gold.
out of here too, Kathy. And for you guys, have a great night, and God bless your hearts.